Good morning, everyone. Dzień dobry for those of you who joined us here. Good morning. Thank you for, first and foremost, thank you, Danilo and Annie, for joining us here in Krynica and Małopolska. I will sit a little bit here if you can see me. And I will, because as in every conference, we're running out of time. It's not the first time, it's not the last time. So I will probably jump right away to our topic, which is digital innovation hubs, because we are here in our conference in Małopolska, in southern part of Poland, where there is, of course, digital innovation hub run by a Krakow Technology Park. But also in Poland, there is a national cybersecurity digital innovation hub, by the way, coordinated by the cluster which I'm representing. That's why the first question I would probably right away ask Ms. Anna-Maria Sassen, from the perspective of the European Commission, what should be the role of this cybersecurity digital innovation hubs in the wider network of digital innovation hubs? So how should we cooperate? It's not only theoretical, as I mentioned, because we do have representatives of this kind of hubs here. And do we already have maybe some kind of examples, case studies, good practices of how to cooperate between us as cybersecurity hubs and regional hubs, which should, in fact, help us to digitize the economy here in region?
Thank you very much for this question, Robert. Good morning to everybody who's listening. I want to first clarify exactly the two types of investments that the European Commission is doing. And because with further digitalization, which we are aiming for, it's one of the goals of the European Commission, together with the Green Deal, we also think that all companies should further digitalize. Cybersecurity will become ever more important. So, because whenever you do something digital, it needs to be cyber secure. So there will be an enormous demand to new products and services related to cybersecurity. And we know that at the moment, SMEs, they are lagging behind in using digital technologies, but there are many SMEs in Europe, and whenever they would also start to integrate more digital technologies into their products, into their production processes, into their business models, the demand to cybersecurity will rise, how would I say, exponentially. And so also, all those SMEs, they don't really are aware enough about the risks that they will be running and what are good cybersecurity solutions. So they need support, which was also mentioned in the previous panel. And the Commission is planning two types of investments. The first one is really focused on cybersecurity, and the second one is focused on uptake of digital technologies by SMEs. That is the network of the European Digital Innovation Hubs. I will talk about it in a minute, but I want to start with this first investment into cybersecurity. So here, the Commission will set up the European Cybersecurity Industrial Technology and Research Competence Center and a network of national coordination centers on cybersecurity. And this national coordination center, so every member state will have one national coordination center, so there will be 27 national coordination centers on cybersecurity. So the competence center, they will coordinate all research, development and innovation, and also deployment of cybersecurity in Europe. So they are the European approach to make sure that the projects in Horizon Europe related to research, that they are developing the future products that our European economy needs. And for instance, through Digital Europe program, we will then support all these national coordination centers so that they are really expert about the latest technologies related to cybersecurity. So that is an investment fully focused on cybersecurity. And then we have a second investment, which is the network of the European Digital Innovation Hubs. And here we will have 200, so 10 times as much as the the national coordination centers on cybersecurity. And the idea is that the national center will work closely with the European digital innovation hubs, and the European digital innovation hubs will also help the national cybersecurity center to scale up to make sure that everywhere in Europe all companies can be reached and they can all make use of the good products and services which are developed thanks to the work in the first investment really related to cybersecurity. So we will have, I now want to explain a little bit more how the digital innovation hubs will work. So we will have a network of 200 European digital innovation hubs. It will start operating in 2022 because we are at the moment selecting this network. And the idea is that these digital innovation hubs, they will speak the local language of the companies that would need support with their digital transformation. They also understand the local economical context, and therefore they are really well suited to support companies. Every of these digital innovation hubs, they will choose a specialty, and this specialty should be linked to what are the needs of the companies in the region and what are the strengths which are available in the region. And these specialities, they can range from artificial intelligence, high performance computing, or cybersecurity, but they can also be linked to more sectorial technologies, like, for instance, Industry 4.0, when it is a region which is very focused on manufacturing, or if it's an agriculture region, it can be on supporting farmers with their digital transition towards more precision farming, for instance. Can also be related to logistics. So it all depends on what the region, what are the main economic activities of the region and what are the needs of these companies. So we will have these 200 European digital innovation hubs, and it is for sure that all of them would need to know at least basic knowledge about cybersecurity, because cybersecurity is always necessary. And in order, I just checked, we have already a pre-selection of all the European digital innovation hubs done by the member states, and about 1/3 of the 200, they have knowledge about cybersecurity. But it also means that 2/3 of these 200, they don't have this knowledge. And what we foresee in Digital Europe program will be special training sessions, which will be done by the National Cybersecurity Coordination Center. These national cybersecurity centers, they will train the European Digital Innovation Hubs. The ones that don't have knowledge, they will give the basic knowledge. There are also 1/3 who are specialized in cybersecurity, so they will maybe have more advanced trainings. And through this, we will get a kind of knowledge transfer from this one national, or this 27 national coordination center, to the 200 European digital innovation hubs, which can then spread this knowledge about and this awareness about cybersecurity further to all the SMEs everywhere in Europe. So that is what we foresee. I don't have practical examples yet, because we will start with, the operation of this network in 2022. We are also now setting up the cybersecurity national coordination centers. And so I don't have at this moment already specific examples, but maybe Danilo, he would know of examples on which we could build. But this is really meant for better awareness, scaling up the outreach to all SMEs to use cybersecurity.
Thank you very much for this broad answer. And indeed, we already mentioned now and previously when we've been speaking yesterday even about digital innovation hubs, that there is this strong understanding that one of the key policy challenge for European economy, in fact, nowadays, is to digitalize, especially SMEs. So not to end up with something which we call islands of digitalization with everyone else not so digitized or not so automatized sectors. And that's important, but I will go a step further and to ask a question to Danilo. It's not about only making this process happen, in this case, digitalizing the whole economy. It's also about the question how we should promote our own technologies, cybersecurity made in Europe, something which we call through this, in this process. So how to make sure that hubs and all these other actions will not only support the digitalization itself, but it will also support the use of local, trusted technologies here in this process.
Thank you very much, Robert, for the invitation. I really hope that you can hear me well. And good morning to everyone. So first of all, for a short follow-up on the very broad answer given by Marie Sassen, I think it's important to highlight the strategic shift at policy level from the European perspective on how cybersecurity is now approached also in the local level. Normally, cybersecurity is a sovereignty issue. Now, with this setting, with the European Competence Center, the coordination of a national competence center, and then the European Digital Innovation Hubs specialized in cybersecurity, we are going to face a very multi-scale approach where we are going to increase the level of cybersecurity at the local level and at the end at the European ones. So we really welcome this new approach and also the role of a regional ecosystem and the future of the European Dictionary. Concerning the question, so there are two main perspectives. The first one on the end user side, indeed, we need to improve the cybersecurity awareness and readiness of the local SMEs, but as well we need to scale the European technologies and most important, the trusted solutions that are available today at the local level, at the European and international one. For this reason, so the label, the cybersecurity made in Europe, which is based on the local and existing successful initiative like the label of cybersecurity made in Poland, will be a key instrument also to give more visibility at the local level to the European landscape and the European trusted solution. And we really believe that the network, the future network of the European Digital Hub will create this ecosystem to strengthen the local solution that they are very key for the digitalization of Europe and also to support the critical infrastructure to deploy technologies that are trusted at the European level. And for this reason, there will be a strong link also with the work led by the European Agency of Cybersecurity, the ENISA, for the certification scheme. And the creation of such a network will, at the end, will facilitate the strengthening of the real European cybersecurity community.
Thank you very much. We mentioned a lot about what kind of policy actions should be taken, why we should take them. Let's try to go down to the, I would say, operational level. We know that there is already announced call for support of European digital innovation hubs. As Ms. Sassen mentioned, hopefully in 2020 we will start the first operational phase of this call. The question is, what are the plans for European digital innovation hubs beyond that? What kind of role in the whole process of digitalization for the next 7 to 10 years these hubs will play? Are they going to be included in other streams of policies and actions designed at the EU, at the European Commission and other levels?
Yes, the expectations of the hubs are very big. And so we want to support them at least for the next 7 years, because that we have already announced with Digital Europe program. After that, that's too long term to say what will happen. We will plan that towards the end of the 7 years. But the hubs are mentioned in many policies. So recently, the Commission launched the Digital Decade policy, where we set targets on where we want to be regarding digitalization in 2030. And for one of the points there, or what the targets are regarding digitalization of businesses, and there the digital innovation hubs are mentioned as a very important tool. The digital innovation hubs are also mentioned in the industrial policy. They are mentioned in the SME policy. So the European Commission is really mentioning them in all their policies which are related to digitalization of SMEs. But the good thing now, and also the new thing, is that it's not only the European Commission investing in the hubs, but it's also the member states. So at the national level, 50% of the funding of the hubs will come through the national level. And sometimes the national level will even go to the regional level. So we now have joined up investments from regions, from member states, and from the European Union into the same digital innovation hubs. And this also means that also national strategies will make use of the hubs to support their digitalization, and also regional strategies. And therefore, I really believe now that we have, starting from 2022, we will really have a very important tool which policymakers can use to make their policies more concrete. We can get input from the digital innovation hubs who are really in contact with the SMEs, who understand the needs, so we can then adapt our policies. And we can also communicate directly to the digital innovation hubs what type of policies we have in mind. And this can really accelerate the uptake of digital technologies everywhere.
Thank you very much. We are now here at the Cybersecurity conference. That's why my next question will be a little bit bridging the digital innovation hubs and cybersecurity, especially because Danilo is representing European Cybersecurity Organization, which we are part of. But not only we, other digital innovation hubs are also present there. And there is already ongoing question inside, what kind of role will the European Cybersecurity Organization will play when it comes to this digital innovation hubs agenda, and maybe what kind of role ECSO themselves want to play in the future of this digitalization on the local level process.
Thank you, Robert, for the question. So, as mentioned by the colleague from the GConnect, the landscape will be very complex with these three levels, and the ECSO has the ambition to continue to play the role it has been playing until now. So they want to consolidate the community at a different level, and the work, the ongoing discussion that we are having with the digital innovation apps that at this stage they are specialized in cybersecurity, so they are part of the 1/3 of the ones mentioned by Marie Sassen. They will be on two main aspects. The first one, ECSO would like to continue to provide support to the local ecosystem and the digital innovation apps in order to reduce the gap between local ecosystem and the European one. So we are going to provide our support in reaching out international investors, partners, and also to dialogue with the other ecosystems. And the second level will be the creation of this community of digital innovation apps specialized in cybersecurity, where we need to continue exchanging best practice in order to likely to leverage on the experience of one specialized investor, specialized cybersecurity in digital innovation apps in other digital innovation apps. And the most important, I think, it will be really the role in order to create this ecosystem where specialized cybersecurity generation apps, so the ones that there are indeed in farming, agri-food, or in other technologies, they will need to increase their cybersecurity awareness. So they will need as well to reach out to their counterpart in digital innovation apps cybersecurity. And we want to have this exchange kind of catalog of services available on the market, provided by the European solution, by the European ecosystem, in order to then to reach this global increasing of awareness at the European level in cybersecurity. So to sum up, two main streams. The one is the ECSO in supporting local ecosystem, and the second one is more on the consolidating the community at the European level of local ecosystems. Once again, for us, what is really important is not just to discuss at the cluster level, but more at the ecosystem level, where we take in consideration the triple helix, so the education, the training, the innovation, and also the access to market. And it will be very important to continue in this direction, because the Commission is offering us a very important tool to now to be ready for the next decade in terms of digitalization, and also to be ready on the cybersecurity field on the international market.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, both our panelists. There are some important, I think, takeouts from our short chat here. First and foremost, we know what we want to do when it comes to this policy goals, when it comes to not only digitizing economy, but doing this also in a secure manner with trusted technologies, with local support of digital innovation hubs. And I hope after 7 years on, in this case, it will be 13th edition of Cybersec Forum, we're going to meet one more time, and we're going to have the opportunity to celebrate, in fact, that all of these goals, or at least a big part of them, have been put in action and indeed gave us fruits. Thank you very much, Anna. Thank you very much, Danilo, for today. And thank you very much, and see you next time.
Thank you. Bye-bye.